McCauley at Pray It Up in Syracuse, New York. And it was challenging when you have 11 logs to come up with content. But this is excellent. This is 100 tips for a healthier summer. I'm going to hit the highlights. And you know, we are, most of us, even the younger people, we want to lose weight. The summer isn't necessarily the opportunity for us just to go hog wild and say, woohoo, it's the summer, I'm going to eat, drink, and to be merry. We can make mindful choices. And you know, yesterday was my last day of teaching. And it was in the classroom around 92 degrees. Wow. No air conditioning. And there was one big box fan, and I had second grade, and I had, every few minutes, I'd have one of the kids stand in front of the box fan. Okay, you're next, because it was that hot in there. And I didn't want to work on Monday because I don't want to work in a building that's 94 degrees. Not when I have a pool and it's swimming weather, everyone. If you want to do pool aerobics, call me. You can come, but I'll work your butt off. Don't think you're going to get in my pool and float, everybody. But if you want to, call me. I'm fun. Okay. This is funny, too. And I know a lot of you read things on Facebook, but on Monday, I was the art teacher. So she leaves me a note. She says, let the kids just watch videos or go on their iPad. I'm like, they hate that. So I said, I'm going to teach them something. So the one grade was second grade. I said, I go to YouTube and I find a second grade appropriate level on Picasso. And I said, we're going to talk about Cubism. And I had them all do their self-portrait and Cubism. They loved it, you know. And one kid wrote me this poem about how wonderful and sweet and nice and pretty I was. But then I said, just so you don't think I'll get a big head, earlier in the day, one of the kindergartners said, Miss Ellen, how old are you, 100? And I said, almost. Because guess what, I'm a lot closer to 100 than that 5-year-old kindergartner is, okay? But I laughed hysterically. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. How old are you, 100? But people say, oh my gosh, Ellen, you're not going to do Pray It Off? You're not going to teach? What are you going to do? Believe me, I will never be bored. I've got 400 wreaths, and I have to get 5,600 more. So I'm calling every company in Syracuse. I'm going to go to their businesses. I'm going to work hard on that, and I am going to have some fun too. In July, my daughter is coming in from Vegas. We're going to go to Broadway, see a few shows, so that'll be fun. So, in the meantime, though, I want everyone to think about when we have a good time, we can have a couple of drinks or a couple of extras. If we spend most of our time eating fiber-rich diets with spinach, tomatoes, avocados, fruits, berries, squashes. If you're having a burger, get a lettuce wrap. Anyway, I love a turkey burger mixed with salsa wrapped in a lettuce wrap. It's delicious. You don't have to have a honker bun. It's wasted calories. Also, I told you about the frozen grapes. You don't need croutons. One person said to me, Ellen, I noticed you didn't have croutons on that list. Would you like me to bring them? No, I don't want croutons. Because you know what croutons are? A trigger food. The next thing you know, you're eating them out of the box, like they're chips or something, you know? Protein power. I really challenge people to keep track of their fiber intake and their protein intake. One person was trying really hard. She's doing great. And her food log looked good, but she wasn't moving. And I said, what about your portions? You got any measuring cups? So she dug them out, blew the dust off, and lost 2 pounds this week. We can eat healthy food and eat a little bit too much of it, okay? Also, water. I can't say enough about, and that's another thing. You know, a lot of times the kids would say, can I go get water? I'm like, no, because they just wanted to get out of the classroom. But yesterday, yes. And then I made sure on Monday I said to everyone who I could see, tell your kids to bring a water bottle on Wednesday, because even when it's empty, they have a water filling station. and they can refill it, and they did. So that worked out really well. So why not get a big jug and put cherries, lemon, lime, put all that fruit in it and let it just seep into it. It sounds delicious. And then you can drink it and have a beautiful time. Dining out shouldn't kill your weight loss plans, because if you treat, I've said this maybe 8 million times, every time you eat out, it isn't a treat if you eat out all the time. If you eat out once, if it's your birthday, Bob and I are going to the Inn of the Seasons for my birthday, and that is a treat. It's my birthday. All right, I'll give you that. But if you're just going out 3 or 4 times a week because you don't want to cook, that is not a treat. Also, look at the menu and see, like when I went to Crazy Daisies, you could get a myriad of things. You could say to them, oh, that smash burger, will you put it on a lettuce wrap for me? And they'll say yes. Even if it's not in the menu, you can ask for things. Also, we should be skipping the second helpings. There's nothing that we can eat that we can't eat again. Bob and I have a phrase, you know. One time I made this turkey goulash that was to die for with this protein pasta, and he's like, I really want more. And I said, there will be other goulashes. And God willing, there will be. We don't have to eat it all that day. Also, devil is in the details. People write on their logs, salad. Oh, doesn't that sound benign? Salad. Or they'll write on their logs, burger. But they don't say it's a Whopper with cheese. Do you see this distinction between the details? Okay. Snack time. Here's something I tell people. Over the summer, you can play some games with yourselves. You can say, I'm going to eat whatever I want for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but I'm not going to snack. A lot of you are great, and then you kill it with your snacking. You are snack, 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 snack. It's like your hobby is saying, what'll I eat, what'll I eat? But if you say, I will, that was what saved my butt. I'd weigh 370 pounds. I had to give up snacking, okay? And even if you can't, try hummus, try the frozen grapes. Also, if you want to weigh yourself daily, there's nothing I can do about it. But I do think you should weigh yourself once a week on Thursday and write it on your log. You need to have a little accountability. Also, you gotta move. This morning, I woke up, and you know what I felt? I felt 70. My back hurt, I just was stiff as a board, and I said, oh my God, I could barely get out of bed. And I went to the gym for 2 hours, and when I got done, I felt good. I think the stiffer you are, the more you move, the better you feel. If I would have stayed in bed, I probably would be stiff right now, okay? And dance. I can't say enough about dancing. There's these new neighbors that moved across the street, and I don't think they like me very much because I sing my songs really loud and I dance in my office. And I saw the wife look out one day because I was going, if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. And I'm dancing. I see her looking over, but it's sing loud. It's your house. You pay the mortgage. And you dance. Get weights. And I have 4-pound weights. I graduated from 3-pound weights. Swim. I already told you about swimming. If you do overindulge, don't beat yourself up because you're never going to be as bad as you used to be. And even if you are, you're not going to stay this way. One person got mad because they didn't lose weight last week and they said, that's it. I'm going to quit. I hate Break It Off. I hate it. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to try. It's ridiculous no matter what I do. And then by Monday she was okay and she's back with a vengeance. You are going to have times where you're going to want to quit, throw in the towel, and just get through that time. If you're bored, call me because I will give you something to do, okay? Also, one of the things we have to do over the summer, everyone, is we have to move. I'm going to stop right there, Bobby.